What's up? This is Izzy Moreno, and you're watching Countdown City WrestleCast.
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. No Mikey, don't look frozen. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is that guy, Tommy.
Still black, y'all.
And back in his house, apparently.
Yeah, it's great. It's actually weird being back in here now.
All right. And, of course, we got Big Mike.
What's up, guys? Big Mike 2024. I do want to do this one little behind-the-scenes things. I've been using a laptop since we have gone digital with this thing, and it's worked pretty well, except in the past several months, when you start the little countdown intro videos and the little thing, it has been choppy and buggy as crap, and I never know if it's just me or you guys, so I'm pretty sure it's just me. Hopefully at some point soon I can upgrade this rig, but
sounds like it needs a cleaning, probably.
Or maybe
maybe a dusting, yeah. Joining me before they go to bed, we got Super Adi and Spider J, and they're both pretty excited about Izzy getting her first win this past weekend on Mission Pro Wrestling.
spoilers.
On a tap out, and Jay has a new favorite. I think probably one of his favorites. Who is it, Jay?
Who?
Wait, what?
Who is like your new favorite wrestler? You think at Mission Pro? Who? Say it again. Really, Mike.
La Princesa.
Yeah, he does. He is. He likes some Puerto Rican woman apparently. So.
I can't say the boy don't have good taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Get to sleep, guys. Love y'all.
Smart.
Go to bed.
Hey,
Okay.
Jason.
Sup, baby?
Go to bed, dork. Dork. Go to bed. Go to bed. All right, kids.
Well,
What?
Go to sleep. It's
I
bedtime.
can't follow that.
Go.
No, we're not going to sleep.
Say goodnight.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yes.
Well, they put hello, kids.
Yes, they're talking to y'all now. Good night. Go.
They're not talking to you.
Good night, Joaquin. Before you get
They're
in trouble.
not talking to you. They're talking to us.
Yes. Good night.
No.
Hey, Rosie.
They're talking to us. They're not talking to you and you. And
Go
you.
to bed, or I'm gonna pinch you. Go. 5.
Wait, why is
4.
Tommy that guy?
That's
Why does it say that?
that's his name. That's
Why
how he's
are
known.
you
That
that guy,
guy.
Tommy?
This is that guy.
Why are
Let's
you
have a
that guy,
discussion
Tommy? That's a
about
good
this.
question. Let's have that discussion.
Hashtag Tommy.
I don't even know how to respond to any of
guy
that.
Tommy.
You don't, do you?
No, I
don't know
don't.
either.
I thought it was clever until it... Really?
What?
I thought it was clever. Then Joaquin just completely came in and destroyed my confidence with that altogether.
So, guys, the that guy Tommy Twitter and Instagram feeds will be going.
Yeah,
down soon.
it's going to be gone by tomorrow.
Everybody loves Tommy.
In all
right.
fairness, Jason, that's what
Right.
teaching kind of feels like sometimes. So, I understand.
Yeah. Okay. Really? Because he looks like me, I guess. I don't know. So.
Oh, that's what you meant. I thought because he wasn't listening.
Okay.
I
yeah.
think it had a double meaning. I think it was both.
Yeah.
It could have been. Like I was like talking through him to this freaking wall, and it was just wasn't listening to me. That's what happens.
Kind of how it looks. It's almost like it's almost like yourself was John Cena.
Yeah. Could be
Wasn't
that.
there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, exactly. So.
Wow, Bernsey.
Yeah, and I gotta, while we're on that discussion, and yeah, I was gonna talk about this a little bit later on, but let me share this little window here because this is kind of funny. Oh, wrong one. Hold on.
Oh, that was good.
Okay. Yeah, so for whatever reason, Tiffany Evans came out. Jay was already using my dry erase board to make a sign there, so he wanted an autograph picture as well. So, yep.
We can't blame the kid.
Yeah, like I said, I can't blame the boy for having good taste. I really can't.
Yeah.
Now, let me just say this, Jay.
Yeah.
Don't come for Clint. Clint is number one.
Yeah.
Has been for a long time. Drank
But
17
Jay-
hours.
But Jay has a shot.
Jay will fight. So,
I mean,
Yeah.
he'll be ahead of side character Mike, so that at least
Yeah.
that.
That's true.
And I also do want to shout out Tiffany Nieves as well. I'll try and get the picture posted up later, but she gifted my daughter's softball team an 8x10, wishing them good luck for the season. Upon finding out that her theme song is one of our, I mentioned this when she was on the show last week. I told her pretty much the first song that plays when they warm up for a game or even at practice now is her theme. So she loved it. She gifted an 8x10, signed it for the girls, and pretty awesome. So we'll
When
try
did
and get a
y'all find
video
that
of them
song?
warming up. We'll try and get a video of them warming up to it, Tiffany, so you can see it. You told us to tag her whenever we get a video of that. So definitely do that next tournament. So
When did
what's
y'all
up, Mike?
find that song?
Apple Music.
Y'all just happened to come upon it?
Yeah, Tina was searching for it. I think she Shazammed it at a show and got it. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think I Shazammed it after we played it here because I didn't even know it was out there like that. So
Yeah. So
I
it's pretty cool.
I saw her on something a while back. Maybe it may have been on a mission where she was talking about it, talking
Yeah.
about that she collaborated with the guy. It's actually her voice on
Yeah.
there. So yeah, I thought that was cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. And after a hell of a weekend, guys, I'm just gonna say this: I need a drink because, good lord.
Yeah, for other reasons as well for you.
For other reasons, yeah. Besides all the stuff that's going on with the house, we had some water damage, getting all that fixed.
Oh no, I know how that feels. It's
Yeah,
the worst.
yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway,
You need that.
Definitely.
Oh, sorry.
anyway, we are going to talk all about Mission Pro Wrestling Sleepless in San Antonio later on. Between that, we'll talk a bit of wrestling news and what's coming up locally, and then give you guys some announcements regarding NostalgiaCon because there's some pretty cool stuff happening. So
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
So let's start with a bit of wrestling news. We're getting a little bit of two of the biggest names in women's wrestling in Texas over recent years are going to be going head-to-head at NXT this coming week. Ren
Awesome.
Sinclair, formerly Maddie Rankowski, is taking on Roxanne Perez, formerly Roxy, on the Texas scene. So I don't know if these two have ever faced each other.
They did, in fact, because Brandon Oliver posted. I don't remember what, or someone did. I don't remember what show it was from, because it felt like it was kind of one of those companies, kind of mid Texas, but they have before.
Okay.
There was a thing. Maybe I can look it up and find.
Only thing I ever found was they were in a 5-way match together. They could have been in something else one-on-one that just wasn't on cage match, which is entirely possible. Because
it is because I've cage match doesn't even get all the some of the local stuff all the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I kind of want to go update PBW. Yeah, Jason said it. PBW. I know I want to go update them with all the branded outlaw stuff they don't have for the past like 5 years. So.
Yeah. So I'll have to find it, but yeah, apparently they have before.
Okay.
So
I will say this on the
bigger
promo leading
stage.
up. Yeah, Jason said at PPW. I said like when Roxanne got to NXT, like the biggest thing she needed to work on was her promos, that sort of the promos, charisma, like the character building and stuff. She's got that down.
Yeah,
and
she does now.
I'm really liking this attitude. In a way, I'm kind of excited to see a bit of a heel Roxanne Perez. It's pretty cool. Something we haven't seen from her like ever, even on the independent scene. So,
And I think is ironic is this match is probably the reverse of what it was when it happened.
yeah,
Right? Because Maddie as Ren is playing the young, inexperienced, like wide-eyed, innocent, and now Roxanne's got the attitude going, and she does crazy eyes very well, which is kind of always scary. But
Yeah, but sorry, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, no, here it is. I do like the like polarity shift because if you had taken the bet of this match happening 3 years ago, there's no way you would have said Roxy's the heel and Maddie's the face. There's no way you'd have said that.
yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
As far as we know, Burnsy, probably not.
Burnsy, I gotta be honest, not once in all the time I've seen her wrestle man, I can't talk. Have I ever seen her heel? Not once. So, maybe somewhere in Laredo at one point, but as far as I know, no. This is like one of the first times in her career.
Yeah.
JC, you're still
JC, you're muted still. You messed up something, yeah. There's just buzzing coming from your mic now at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah.
as far as we know, no, I don't think she's ever been heel. And I know you know, Tommy, a little bit more about Maddie's tenure, and I know she was kind of babyface, as you said, when she first started. We talked
Yeah.
to her, but I mean, all I've known her since, even when I heard about her before I started seeing her, was she's a heel. You know, it was the reality character into the main character. So, but you know, as much as people, because I've heard some people go, "Oh, this character, she's playing real green. That's weird." He keeps putting her on TV week
Yeah.
after week, right out the bat.
Yeah.
So Sean must realize that the talent she has, because it's not like he just threw her in the battle royal, then we didn't see her again for 2 months. Like she's got stories and she's going. So
So
Can you hear me now, by the way?
Yes.
yeah, you're good.
We
For
got
that.
you.
Sweet.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
No, I
Or-
think this is something new for Roxanne because we've never really seen this at all, and this is something she needed to work on. I mean, she was coming up as the prodigy, in Texas,
Yeah, that's
the
right.
hometown person, right? So
Mhm.
when she was in ROH, it was still very, very much a face, and then of course ROH pretty much kind of folded the first iteration of it.
Yeah.
She quickly got picked up and signed by WWE, and NXT was brought in that way. But regarding Ren, as we're calling her now, I mean, look,
Still
this
feels
speaks
weird.
volume. This speaks volume, not really much about her, but also about the hybrid school of wrestling for sure.
Yeah. Without a
And
doubt.
Oh, dude, the feather that must be in Marvel's cap right now.
oh,
I can't
yeah,
even blame him.
the whole setup. I mean, just it says a lot when you have a graduate from that school is signed and pretty much, I mean, not even less than a month into her career there at NXT, she appears backstage and now she's featured week to week, and it speaks volumes. And Marvel has said this before. It's not necessarily about what the work you put in the ring, the stuff you're doing outside of it, how to be respectful, things like that, how to listen and stuff. So it's pretty amazing to see that, and this is looking forward to seeing that on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and all kidding aside, Maddie's never been a disrespectful person as far as that, and
No.
like, and of course you guys know that her and Roxanne, I've always had that in common. They've never been like they play it up, of course, when the camera's rolling for the fans and the merchandise line and everything. But I've always only ever heard consistent things, good things about them. A little, like, again, kind of more backstage stuff. Anytime I have visited Hybrid when they were training for whatever reason, and she was there, you never saw that, like, the arrogant, I'm big star. She always, like, was in there doing the deeds with everybody else. If they were doing this workout or that workout, she was right there with everybody. She never had like that appearance of, I've been these places, I'm better than y'all. She's just always been that work hard, respectable person. So when you say things like these really couldn't happen to nicer people, I mean that legitimately. So take aside all the heel work that Maddie does, and and be honest, even the face stuff that Roxanne has done, they both are just good people. So I'm just happy for them in general. They're just good people, and good things are happening for them, and more power to them.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Any other news to discuss? I don't think there's really a whole lot
I mean,
going
just
on.
some general. I mean, WWE news, of course. The road to WrestleMania continues. Rock and Roman Reigns are supposed to be at SmackDown tomorrow night to continue their stuff. I do have to say, I do like to sit back and watch the people going back and forth, still trying to convince one another either this was the plan from the beginning, and Triple H is a masterful genius working everybody from the start, and the people that are like, everyone hates The Rock in real life. It's a they had to shift and turn it, and now he's really pissed. It's somewhere in the middle. We know.
I think it's somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
Right.
Look,
Like,
I'm gonna quote Triple H on this one. There's always a plan B.
Well, yeah, for sure. Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. Like that.
yeah.
That's a fact.
They're believe me, I'm sure they learned a lot 10 years ago with the backlash around Daniel Bryan.
well, some people learned a lot.
Well, with some, but yeah.
The people
people
who
in
didn't,
charge now.
the people who didn't
People in
aren't there
charge
anymore.
now,
Thank
but
God.
just
Yeah.
the Triple H was heavily involved with that storyline as well, and I'm sure he knows. Okay, he had to know going in. Look, if this is the route we're gonna go, how are fans gonna react? Like you have, here's what we do if this happens. Here's what we do if this happens. There's always a plan B. So it is smart. It was so well done. Let's be honest with you. That press conference was so well done.
Yeah, no.
Uh,
So
It's great.
to me, that's kind of the thing. Whether it was planned or not, how they've done it has been a masterclass. It really
And
has.
then, okay, as much as I've kind of been annoyed of him since his return, CM Punk at commentary right after it ends, and Rock is still on the stage with Roman, and they go to him, and he's like, I don't know, if I was Cody, I'd just punch him in the face. Who wants to see Rock get punched in the face? And you see the Rock kind of look at the commentary. I was like, okay.
Almost
That was-
daring him to come over here and like
Yeah.
step to him.
I was like,
it's great.
That's funny. If on the off chance that plants a little seed for down the road, if Punk
Yeah.
comes back and there's a chance for something for that, that's also got the back built-in story of Punk getting taken out of the Rumble, beaten at the Rumble and not given his main event. So like, as much as he's kind of annoyed me with certain things, that was pretty funny, and I got to give him credit for that. Just kind of stirring the pot and being Punk.
Punk looks like he's having fun now, and I love seeing the stuff like CM Punk was right all those years ago. We all remember that whole Punk and Rock thing around the Royal Rumble. That promo thing got up. Yeah, it's very much how all that stuff comes full circle for CM Punk. Say what you want about it, but all this stuff when it relates to him, this man, whatever, it all comes full circle. So
I do remember a couple of things that happened. I just thought about wrestling news wise, AEW related.
Sure.
One's funny. The other is like just a really good promo. I don't know if you guys heard Darby Allin's promo against the Young Bucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But he said, thank God there was an EVP at the time who had the brains enough to hire me. And no, I'm not talking Kenny Omega. And the crowd chanted Cody immediately. I love that. And another one was, I don't know if you guys saw like on Collision. Yeah, it was on Collision. Both Eddie Kingston and Adam Copeland called out the Young Bucks for what they did to Sting. Yeah. And then Brandon Cutler tweeted that there was backstage turmoil because that Adam Copeland was causing problems backstage. I don't know if y'all saw, but Sportskeeda, I think, or Ringside News, one of the two, reported that Adam Copeland is causing trouble backstage, not realizing it was a Brandon Cutler.
Jesus. That's always funny.
I saw it. I was like, you're kidding me. You gotta be kidding me right now. Yeah. Also, Adam Copeland causing trouble backstage? No, this is in 2005. I don't believe that.
Right. No, not at all. A couple other small things since we're talking AEW and actually some injury stuff. It's been reported that Yuta and Julia Hart were both dealing with injuries, which is why they haven't been seen on TV recently. And I was wondering that because the Blackpool Combat Club was getting into all this stuff in the recent weeks with CMLL guys with that partnership, and Yuta wasn't around. And Julie as well. And then, speaking of injuries across it, apparently Charlotte Flair is ahead of schedule on her rehab for her knee injury.
She
still a bit time away, but
still time away. But at least she was able to get on the dance floor with her husband at a event they went to. So it was,
And Brian Cervantes, what's up, man? He's in the chat.
Hey, Brian, what's up?
He's
Brian?
on time this time. I get to make that show.
We haven't even started the full breakdown.
Haven't get a few things here yet. So, but let's talk what is upcoming on the local wrestling event front. Let me see here.
Guys, take a break this weekend.
Well,
next weekend.
Yeah. Nothing going on this weekend. Next weekend, of course, on Saturday is the Hybrid Experience, which, yes, Elimination Chamber is next Saturday, but it's going to be super early in the morning because it's in Australia. You're not missing anything.
Yep.
RCW is running on the 25th. And BOW is when, Tommy?
March 9th.
March 9th. Yeah.
March 9th. Okay, yeah. Which, by the way, we confirmed with Angel Blue. She is going to be at that show as well. Going to be involved with the tag match, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Oh!
Yeah.
That shenanigans. It's literally called shenanigans.
I think of announcing on that show, too.
Oh,
hey, Legacy. Haven't done our nostalgia announcement yet
yes,
either.
We'll get that.
Legacy.
And then, of course, April 20th, you have RCW Mania and MPW Mania, if I'm not mistaken. So full-on Mania stuff. They should
have one in the mid-afternoon and one in the evening.
I'm hopeful, but right now they're both scheduled like,
I know.
I would love for RCW to run in the middle of the day. It'd be kind of cool to be like, we can attend both, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
San Antonio, feast on all this wrestling you are getting.
It is a lot of fun. It is amazing.
It is great.
So.
It is abundant, and they
Yeah.
are
Plethora.
putting on good shows left and right.
Plethora.
Big words
What
sometimes.
is a plethora? Yeah.
There's a couple others too. I think Dog Pound has a show coming up. There's this one called, I think, Acclaimed Wrestling. Only reason I know that is because someone I know has an uncle who wrestles there.
Okay.
It's a small promotion somewhere on the south side, I think. I got to look him up.
Burnsy, yes, he is. And if you have not seen season 1 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, go check it out.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus. Very well done. Much better than the movie, I should say. And really enjoyed it. Kids enjoyed it too. We're kind of looking to see where they go from here. How do they do Sea of Monsters for season 2? So it's very well done.
Cool.
So.
And then also one other one, and I mainly mention this because friend of the WrestleCast, Denise Day, is their women's champion. But TWA, and I believe March, I'll come back with a date next week, but I think March 16th, they're having a show, and she's defending her women's title again. So, yeah.
And then United 210, I don't know if Sustache is in there, but when is he running?
Yeah, that's part of his. He has an announcement coming tomorrow. You're right. United 210.
Okay.
They're making announcements tomorrow, but I think they're going to have a March show is the plan.
Okay. Is it going to be Meets Mania?
I
might take some time to get together.
I think he said already that's not the first one, but he wants to. He might do it later. I think I already said that's not the first one.
Okay, look, if you're going to do Meets Mania, you got to do that in the summer. Get it all big and sweaty out in the evening.
Come on, bro. We don't want him to die in the ring, man. You see how summers can be. Come on, winter wasn't even that cold. I'm worried about summer at this point. Stay tuned to United 210's Instagram, I assume. Yeah, they'll probably be making a big announcement on that as well.
Bronson Reed and Jeff Cobb just like show up like, hey, we can't wrestle legally, but we just want to be here for that. So
put him under a mask and
Tommy, why did you just try to make me 6 to midnight? Jesus Christ.
Hey, if he posts about it, I'm tagging them in it. Just to see what happens.
Yeah, all right, definitely.
Really just want that to happen for sure.
And look, we will start GoFundMe's to get those guys down here.
Oh yeah.
However many cameos it takes.
Look, Bronson Reed's in Florida. I'll rent a car and go get it my damn self. I don't even care.
So
love it.
Has to happen. Has to happen for sure. So all right. You guys want to talk about what is coming up in May, Mother's Day weekend. Mother's Day weekend. Yeah, sorry, but there's a lot to discuss. Should we get to the wrestling side or the Power Ranger side? Which one do you guys want to do first? Here?
Let's start with the Power Ranger side.
Okay, cool.
Finish with our wrestling stuff.
All right. Well, let me pull up the first graphic here, and the first one is right there. Go for it.
Whew. So, guys, don't know Nostalgia Con May 10th through the 12th. We got Tracy Lynn Cruz, the Yellow Turbo, and In Space Ranger going to be there. Only on Saturday, from what I understand. But who's going to be there all 3 days from Power Rangers Wild Force, the Lunar Ranger, the Lunar Wolf Ranger, and both will be at our table in our section with Legacy of Nerd and Countdown City Geeks. Also, who's going to be there just around? I don't know where he's sitting. Is the original Black Ranger? He'll be there too. But these two will be at our table specifically. Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Do we where's this going to be at? I'm sorry, because it doesn't say the.
It's at the
is that the Henry?
It's at Henry B. Gonzalez. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, Henry B. Gonzalez. Yeah.
All right. The nostalgicon.com for information. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just excited because we have a really big announcement to make.
Yes.
We have 2 things. One is an official announcement. One's a tease. Okay. So we're the Countdown City WrestleCast.
Yes.
And and we're all into different parts of nerd in many ways. We're part of the geeks as well. Tommy's a big Power Ranger guy. I know we're all into some of the different voice actors and actresses that are coming from the cartoon characters they played through the 90s, the 2000s, until now. What's that?
Damn it.
It's gonna be May.
Burnsy, your musical references are top notch, man. All the time.
Oh man.
Got it in sync.
But we are the WrestleCast, and we like to have a wrestling connection. So we have an exclusive announcement tonight. We are going to have a wrestler at our table, much like the Power Rangers are going to be at our table. Tommy, what do we got?
The one and only Thunder Rosa on May
Thunder
10th.
Rosa.
Friday and Sunday only.
Yeah, do pay attention, guys. It is Friday and Sunday. She will not be there Saturday. Probably has AEW stuff to go back to, but
Yep.
she will be at our table for those 2 days.
And to Jason and Bernsey, me too.
Yeah. I'm predominantly Superman, but believe me, I follow a whole lot of nerd stuff and geek stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we are super excited about that.
Very much.
Well, obviously, we're going to talk about Mission Pro here in a minute that we just came from.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's going to be. And also, did we mention the other possible wrestling thing that's happening at the thing?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to get to next.
Oh, okay, sorry.
There's a little bit of a tease.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what we can say. There is going to be wrestling matches at NostalgiaCon.
Yep.
We will provide more information and more specifics in the coming weeks, but there are going to be live matches at NostalgiaCon that are going to be there for people to watch, and we'll be a part of, and maybe either doing interviews or commentary or ring announcing. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out. But yeah, so wrestling is going to be a part of NostalgiaCon as well. And there are some other things we're looking to find out, but these are the 2 things that we could announce specifically.
I want to get those on everybody's radar, definitely. Legacy of Nerds, possibly a title match.
Didn't know
and
that.
For whose title? Not going to tell you quite yet, but you'll know.
We're ironing out those details as we speak. But yes, Thunder Rosa will be sitting with a Legacy Nerd session with the Countdown City Geeks. And
Bernsey, we got you. We'll see
what we can do.
Looking to get Thunder on the show in the coming weeks. Hopefully, we're trying to work the schedule out to talk about Mission Pro, because let's face it, they made a sign for MPW Mania.
Yeah,
as great as that was at this past show, we're going to talk about it. So
unfortunately,
we know
the person who got to point to it first wasn't, but
Yeah, but the way he pointed was great. Like
I was saying, but technically, did he?
Look, not gonna lie. If it was me, I'd use the laser pointer. We'll get into that. But anyway, we're gonna work on trying to get Thunder Rosa on the show to discuss all things MPW, maybe a little bit about AW, because yes, Revolution is coming up as well in the coming weeks, and then of course talk about NostalgiaCon. For sure.
But if you could believe this, she's a busy woman with all kinds of stuff to do.
Oh yeah.
What? Thunder Rosa's super busy? No.
Yeah.
It's not like she's not running a promotion, wrestling everywhere, and having to manage all these different people. You're crazy, Mike.
I know, right?
Lazy, appreciate it. Anything else you want to talk about that you want to, because I know you're heavy involved with this one. Feel free to put it in the chat. We'll kind of highlight it as well. So yeah, definitely jump that in there as well. So,
for sure, yeah.
But this is pretty exciting to see Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, we are definitely hyped about it.
Yeah, the event again coming from the nerd side of things. For me especially, if you grew up watching cartoons and anime in the 90s like I did, this is going to be a wonderland, because the actors that they have coming through. I mean, they voiced almost every show that was worth watching in the 90s. We got the voice actors coming through for, and it's going to be insane that weekend. Oh my god!
Nice.
My nerd head might explode.
All right. Well, speaking of MPW, let's talk about Mission Pro Wrestling's Sleepless in San Antonio. If you weren't there and you haven't gotten to see it, it took place this past weekend. You still can subscribe to Title Match Network. Go back and watch the event on demand as well.
And
before we get
into, I was going to talk about. Sorry,
I was going to talk about. Before we do, Tommy, we mentioned Thunder Rosa. You got to do commentary for the first half of the show with Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, yes. I did.
And believe me, I was trying my hardest. They got about the dry race board. I was trying to get you to break so bad when you're doing live commentary. I might have gotten you a couple times. But first off,
you want to know who you got more was Thunder Rosa.
I need to go back and watch. It's been
go back and watch.
Yeah,
because you'll be able to tell when you made her laugh, JC. You specifically will know when you made her laugh.
But let's talk first of all. One, how this came about, and two, how nervous were you? Let's go through the questions here. Okay, we'll start with that. How nervous were you to be able to do this?
I still kind of am, because now it's out there forever on Title Match, and people can just go back and watch it. I was told I did well. I was told by several people. What I will say, someone who was watching it messaged their spouse who was at the show and said, "I like that guy who's on commentary." Didn't recognize it was me.
That's awesome.
And they said I did a good job. So I've been hearing that a lot. I am my own worst critic, however, so I still kind of think I'm positive I could have done better. But I've heard nothing but positive feedback, so I appreciate the opportunity. How that came about, to answer that question, was the question. It kind of came about like, "Hey, we need someone to do commentary," and I was like, "Hey, I don't know if I can do that," but they said, "Hey, you're it." I said, "Hey, okay."
Tommy, I have some things to reveal, and I hope Brian's okay if he's still in the chat with me saying this.
Thanks,
He
Jason.
messaged me and said, "Title match said that we need to get your voice off of the clips." And no, I'm just kidding.
You know what's funny is that's so crazy. It actually is believable.
Yeah.
They're like, somehow he'll be quieter on commentary as opposed to ringside.
Actually, that's
The
kind of
fun
true.
part of it is that there were two specific wrestlers whose matches you called that any other time you'd be yelling and screaming your damn head off. And we're gonna start right with the bat with Calientita.
Wow, are you her good luck charm?
Yeah, I guess you on commentary, but I did make a sign that said Takis suck. I feel like I almost got you to break with that one.
You definitely got Thunder Rosa with that one, and
I
was like, and I did more like this, like, oh god, JC.
I showed it to Kylie on that, and she just had this shock look on her face, like, "What the fuck, bro?" But yeah, that one, and then of course the 5-way match, Angel Blue, and yes, I had a sign that said Tommy's favorite wrestler is Angel Blue. Showed you that.
I got a picture of
and
JC holding that up with you in the background.
Yeah.
Okay. So the story behind that is, yes, we both saw that sign. Thunder Rosa laughed and she said, "There's a sign saying that that's your favorite wrestler," and I just replied with, "No, she is not."
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
No, she's not.
Mike, we know you meant spicy, but no, she's not.
But no. So, yeah, I think all of us were just turning around getting pictures. Pretty cool moment for you. I mean, and it's Thunder Rosa. It's not like you were just doing this with just anybody that they picked. It was Thunder Rosa who's pretty much in charge of the whole thing. Like, this is her thing, you know. So
I'll put it this way: if she ever, whenever she does retire, if she doesn't just become an announcer afterwards, I'm going to be personally a little bit sad because she's so much fun to just sit next to and talk to. We can't end up doing that a couple of times, just talking to each other, kind of forgetting almost about the match that's going on. But she's real fun. She's a blast of commentary. She, basically she guided me through. So it's like when this happens. So you can tell she really, really does know what she's doing, and of course she does. I'm just saying I get to say that from my standpoint of how knowledgeable she is, how professional she is. But at the same time, she wasn't so professional that it was like I was like I was still nervous, but not like, oh my god, did I say that? No, like it was professional from the point where she was like, relax. It's gonna be great. We're gonna get through it, and we did, and it was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah, and don't forget, she did commentary for AEW in Spanish while she was injured.
For sure. So
she was working on it.
But those early matches, we had Calientita versus Zira, Ray Lynn versus Emi Camacho, and then of course the Mission Pro Cup, Angel Blue, Nova Phoenix, Shay Carmichael, Morgan Mercy, and JP Harlow.
Brian, good point.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well,
yeah. But guys, those opening, there was a solid beginning, and that 5-way, for me, I feel like it stole the show. It was a lot of fun.
It did until the person who won.
Sorry, I'm the only guy that called it. It just seemed like it, and I felt like he was going to steal a pin one way or another. So
that's fair. That was fair. Yeah.
Now, as a longtime fan, which by the way, I held up a sign that says, "We're here to see Angel Blue." She's like, "Yeah, I'm here for me too." That was some of the best work she's ever had. To be honest with you, just at a 5-way, it's so chaotic, it's crazy, and then to see her being able to do the moves that she did, and as healthy as she is now, it's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
She did tell me later that she was a little mad that I was on commentary and not at ringside.
Yeah. Well, I wanted her to go over there and like yell at you at some point, just get that on there.
She kept pointing at me, and I was told to keep it civil. Wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. But I made it through.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I also got to point this out because JC, your wife got affected by this.
Yes.
We've been going to wrestling shows for years. Especially with our time at ACW, we understand when you need to move out of your chairs because wrestlers are flying into it, you got to move.
Yeah.
But I got to be honest, JP being the heel he was, I honestly thought he was going to do the heel stick of make everyone move and then toss her back in the ring just to be a jerk. But no, he goes move, and then... Brian. Okay, we got to throw that in.
Okay, I got to follow up on that, Brian. We'll get to it. But go ahead, Mike. Do your thing. Go for it. Yeah.
And then he didn't toss her. He yeeted Shane Carmichael through the chairs.
Yeah.
And Jason, your wife couldn't move.
Yeah.
Because of where she was positioned. And so she kind of got hit by Shay. But I was like, damn, JP. He did not
It brought up the intensity of the match too. It really did because we haven't really seen that in MPW in a long time. To my wife's credit, she got Joaquin out of the way, got him up, so he was okay. She's fine, by the way. Yes, the chairs hit her knee. She's okay. There was no issues. So anyone involved with MPW, she's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, nothing's good. I was grabbing Audie and getting her out of the way because she was on the edge there. So, but we just grabbed, basically my wife and I grabbed the nearest kid we could and get them out of the way. But everyone's okay, no problem. But I feel like after that, the mood of the crowd changed. Like the crowd was just okay, well, whatever. There's a 5-way, it's funny. But JP did that, and it really changed the mood of the crowd. Like, holy shit, this is crazy. This is what is going on. Like, this is some serious stuff. And the tone of the match changed. It got a little bit stiffer. The high flying stuff and the crowd. It really brought the crowd up when that happened too. And the crowd was fully invested with it too.
When Morgan Mercy and Noah Phoenix step into any ring, it's going to be a stiff match regardless because those two heavy hitters, and I said it on commentary, that's probably two of the heaviest hitters in Texas. I don't care who you are, man or woman. So and when JP threw Shay into the chairs, and it looked like Jay was hit. Thunder Rosa showed a little concerned. I said that kid's been to a lot of shows. Trust me, he'll be okay.
Oh. Yeah, he was right into it, having fun. The sign thing, so
yeah, that was a great crowd.
That was really great. Yeah, definitely,
really
for sure.
Was. Yeah.
Now, I guess we'll quickly shout this out about the main event. Yes, this ended up being the main event, the tag team matches. I asked Jasmine about it. I was like, hey, missed opportunity. Tried to tell you to get this one to be your partner. And Jasmine just said, well, she wanted too much money. That was like her excuse with it. So it was, they'll work it out. It could be a dream tag team. Tommy's favorite tag team. It'll happen.
Do you have anything else available to show?
I do, actually. Now, Tommy definitely had to get some pictures taken with two of his favorite wrestlers here as well. So, Tommy, thoughts?
Thoughts? My suffering is immeasurable and my pain is never-ending.
And what did I tell you, Tommy? Misery loves company, and what better company to have?
And okay, this picture right here, when she started grabbing her, I was like, what the hell is Jasmine doing? I was like, what the?
They wanted to make sure you were smiling. That's what it was. They were hoping with your smile. Look, Tommy, you lost your smile. They were hoping you find it.
Yeah, Jason said this, and we were all paparazzi for this moment.
Dude, for real! I've never seen this many pictures of once. Oh my god!
When she did that too, I was like, oh my god, they're just totally messing with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no. Even before the main event even started, let's we forget. She threw a ring jacket at me. She didn't throw it in my direction. Okay. She hurled that shit at my face.
Yeah.
Tommy, let's go back further than that because she came out, turned right from you, made a complete loop around the ring, came to wait for her partner, and then the next minute was you and her going back at each other, which, if you're a Mission Pro fan, is something you've seen many times before.
Yep.
But I have it on video.
Yes, I
Good
know.
45 seconds of you and her just going back and forth.
Okay,
Like,
and by the way, Ted, let her. I couldn't stop her. I didn't know what was happening for the first 10 seconds of this.
Yeah, look how vicious they both look. Come on, Tom.
Nah, I know they look so happy.
Okay,
that you're
first of all, Angel Blue is vicious. Let's
I
stop
know.
let's stop the cap of that immediately. Like she could whoop my ass if she decided to. And second, Jasmine Allure once again is evil. So,
But see, think about this also, Tommy. Jasmine just lost another championship match, failed to win a title. Angel Blue failed to get the cup. But look how much joy being around you has brought them. Like,
I know.
I think they forgot about their title losses.
Yeah, they both look extremely happy that you're there. And shout out to you for offering him hand sanitizer afterward, which they both have
That was
as well, by the way. So,
First-
Jasmine threw a perfect fastball with her jacket, and I'm like, hey, did you play softball before? Because we can do some pointers with the girls. But
okay,
like, yeah,
I can't even lie. That shit
100%
did come at me really fast. I was like, oh, what the hell, bro?
yeah. So
Yeah, it did. That was a pretty good aim.
It was. It like hit me square on. I couldn't even get back because of the accuracy. So.
Yeah.
no, it was great. So, but yeah, that tag match was very well done. Yeah, of course, Jasmine can't really trust her partner after all of that. So
Yeah.
but
Okay, I do want to point out, like, if I had a nickel for every time a Mission Pro wrestler threw something at me while they were in the ring, I'd have 2 nickels. But it's weird that it's happened twice, right?
It's not a lot.
both times Jasmine, I assume. So,
No, the first time was with Shay Chanel.
Oh, okay.
When she threw the candy cane. You weren't there at that show. No,
Yeah, no,
it
you
was
weren't
the
at
candy
that
cane
one, no.
street fight. They had a candy cane street fight. I said something to her about the hairdresser. She had the horrible hairdresser, and that jackass grabbed the candy cane when I wasn't paying attention and hurled that at me. I just felt the hit. I was like, what the hell? I was like, oh, you jackass.
And then at this show, what happened? So we did a small interview with her before the show began.
Mm-hmm.
We talked to her after. What did she do to you every time she saw you?
She could not leave my head alone. She's just always messing with whether I have a bandana on or not. She starts messing with my hair. And I'm like, you stop it.
Go check out either the Geekcast TikToks or the Geekcast and WrestleCast Instagram reels. There are the little video clips we released of our interview. We have one with Izzy and we have one with Roche. Literally, we introduce her and she starts messing with Tommy's head, and he's like, "Will you stop?" Right off the bat.
I gotta say this. That match against Tiffany Nieves, I mean, what about? I mean, we expected Tiffany Nieves to win. Great match, but from the entrance to the end, Roche was on a different level, man. Like, we've really never seen her shine in a singles in a long time.
Yeah.
And this was awesome. From the Mardi Gras entrance, everything, got the crowd into it. Worked that in.
I am glad I did have to.
Had you and Lagaya laughing, by the way, Tommy, during her match. Roche Chanel did. So, I mean.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all saw everything she did, but we said there were a couple times when she absolutely was like just talking directly to us. Thanks, Legacy. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But when one of Tiffany's extensions came out and she was choking Roche with it, she tossed it aside. I said, "It's okay, Roche. She got rid of the extension." She looked at us and said, "She got rid of it." And I was like, I laughed. I was like, I know
Yeah, she. There were definitely a few times that they had a little side conversation.
Dangerous, but in a good way, Brian. Just in a good way. Don't worry about it.
It sounds. Brian said it sounds like a dangerous.
Nah, but it's a good dangerous. It's fine. So,
No, let me point out a few things, Brian. The entryway, very dangerous, especially when Jasmine's involved.
Yeah, that's true.
Throwing that out there.
I keep sitting there for some reason.
shout out my daughter. She wanted to sit on the side there. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you're brave, girl. So
The Mission Pro entryway is about as dangerous as the NXT parking lot at this
Yes.
at this
That's
stage.
Those are one
That's
and
true.
two.
Yeah.
Right there.
The parking lot only because more people can get hit by cars. If we can fit another vehicle in that building, that entryway is we got to section that
There are
off.
2 vans in there, so I mean.
Yeah, but luckily those are parked and the keys are out.
Yeah.
I think. I hope. Dear God, I hope they're not.
Oh God, did you just give Brian an idea for a future show?
No, I didn't. Brian,
Gonna
I didn't
happen.
say that. I didn't say
Gonna
that.
happen. Whatever that idea is probably gonna happen. So, yep.
Salvation Army band match. Whoever gets like loaded in the van and they drive.
So Tiffany, we'll see where Tiffany Evans is going to be involved with at MPW Mania. Obviously,
That's
we know.
definitely.
Yeah, we know.
Oh yeah.
What other match is going to be involving JP Harlow? Not necessarily going to be involved in that title match because he has the cup right now. But that's a good segue into Izzy Moreno versus Missa Kate. Wow. What a match.
That might have been one of her best matches to date. Izzy's. Like
every time we see her, we see the improvement.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it's been great, you know. Tiffany said it last week on the show, like, hey, don't let her fool you. She's got like 10 years of experience. It may not be in the ring, but she's still, you know, from the beginning, like she's about this business, and definitely proud to sponsor her for this match. Even though when they put the graphic up, they covered Missy Kate's face, which was freaking hilarious on some level. But I mean, hey,
look, we responded. We told her we had nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with that.
She said it was too late.
Yeah, she wasn't happy with us, but
she wasn't.
And then I did Grandpa Simpson's back into the.
Yep. But Izzy was on point. I mean, so many potential false finishes there, and then we get the end, the backstabber into the armbar.
Oh, go back a step before that.
What's that?
She did a Hurricane Rana from the top rope.
That thing was incredible.
Yeah. Just amazing. I mean, Adi, of course, big Izzy fan.
Yeah.
All into it. Excited. She said it here at the beginning of the show. Made her clap out. You know, she understanding that. And this picture, just magical. So
that's.
What was that guy's name? Who is the photographer? Brian, it's Carlos. We took his picture, obviously, because you see us there in the background.
Yeah. I forget his name.
Shout out to the photographer. We'll get that in a second. That is super cool.
Yeah, I had that too. What was it?
Yeah, well, you kind of see her getting excited. She's over here on the side, but obviously, Tom covering up. But
yeah, I'm sorry. I was just so happy.
No, it's fine. Adi was super excited too. As Izzy said, the highlight of her senior year. But the promo that took place afterward, not something I expected.
No.
But Harlow versus Izzy.
Okay, Brian, if you're in the chat, because we were unsure about this later on, is the match for JP's Cup?
I believe it is.
That's what I thought I heard.
Yeah,
and then some other people on a mission on Tuesday, Emily and Veda were not quite sure, but they were watching also. So,
my understanding is that it is for the Cup and it is a San Antonio Stampede match. And Brian, if you're there, can you yes, Carlos, by the way, confirms that was Carlos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So shout out to him for the photos.
Can you confirm what exactly is a San Antonio Stampede match? Like, do we, like Stadium Stampede in AEW was in the football arena? Are they fighting in an empty Alamo Dome? Like, what is going on here, right? So, might be a question. What exactly this entails?
Do they fight outside, then work their way inside the building, or what's happening? Okay, so one of my favorite matches in old school ROH was called the Bunkhouse Brawl. It was Steve Carino's group versus Homicide before he technically had the Rottweilers, and they basically could call in anyone they wanted for this fight. And so Iceberg and what was his name? I can't remember. But they were fighting outside before the show even started, and basically the implication was they had been fighting all during the show, and they just managed to fight their way inside during the main event, and that's when the match started.
Okay.
Works for me.
Brian confirming, yes, it is for the MPW Cup.
All right.
Awesome.
Yes. So challenge for any title there.
So
maybe he's typing up his explanation of what a San Antonio Stampede match is right now.
Maybe.
So, yeah.
I do want to say this to JP. He's been tweeting stuff about going to go win that title and cash in the cup. Cup's on the line, buddy.
Yeah.
You may not have that after April 20th.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
Photoshop job with Taylor Swift, by the way, too. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, that was a pretty good troll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out. Well, I need to know. Come on.
Brian!
Yeah.
I
Look,
can't-
here's
I
what
can't
I
get
say
that match
this,
up
and I
front.
told Izzy this. Look, if it's going to be some hardcore matching, Izzy, do you need a kitchen sink? Because I still have this here. And if it's sort of like a bring the weapons kind of thing to the ring, we can have this all ready to go. You can put streamers on it, whatever you got to do, make it Izzy Moreno colors or something like that. I imagine weapons are going to be involved on some level, but I
Can
mean,
she
with
use
a
a
name like
person as a weapon? Because I'm in.
Okay.
I hate JP Harlow that much.
Yeah, because the old phrase, and I don't know, Izzy's pretty young. The whole everything but the kitchen sink. Izzy, here is your kitchen sink. So, if you need that for the match, by all means, it's ready to go.
Tommy, with that idea,
Mhm.
you have quite a few choices of BFF sizes to toss at JP if you would like, Izzy. So let
Yeah.
us know.
Yeah.
We are ready and willing to be used as human weapons.
And don't misunderstand. We will happily do it too. If I get Irish whipped into JP Harlow, hey, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Look, Tommy.
While he's on commentary too, by the way. Yeah, no, just kidding.
Although it won't be the first time.
We've talked about this at shows. One of the most effective offensive moves in MPW is throw my body at a person.
This is true.
It's
We've talked
effective.
about that a lot.
And we have some pretty big bodies, so just
First of all, before we get to that, Brian, bring it. All right, I will have it ready to go. Be in the trunk of my car.
I got a truck,
bring
buddy.
it
I'll help you.
Yes, MPW Mania. We'll have that ready to go for you.
I'm just gonna buy another steel chair and just bring it anyway.
By the way,
what happened here? Because I couldn't quite see from where I was sitting what happened there.
So she comes out and just yells, and then Audie just kind of gets taken aback, like whatever, and she's like, "Yeah, I'd be scared too. I'm pretty scary, whatever." And then Audie's face is like, so just sitting there like, "Okay, something."
No.
And I look at Audie, I was like, "You want to sit by the aisle?" And I'm laughing. Tina's laughing. Audie just makes that face like, so it's pretty hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh,
Speaking of Morgan Mercy, real quick, Tommy.
Yeah.
In your VIP picture, she's choking a ref with a chain.
Yeah, she's choking Sherry.
Yeah.
I don't know why that happened during my picture.
I think she was okay.
Well,
because she ref later.
Sherry ref.
Right.
Again, I don't know why she did that during my picture. I don't know what they talked about before I got there.
Mhm.
That's none of my business. So
Yeah.
Oh, Ted left out the full setup. Yeah.
I was like, Ted is really, I think he's sad that he lost his abs or something. Because he mentioned this a while ago too. Yeah.
In Ted's defense, we're so used to feats like that in wrestling, we don't realize how thoroughly impressive that is to do that. Because that is an actually extremely impressive thing to do.
Especially for people like us whose abs are dormant.
Yes.
Not that we don't have them; they're just dormant, and they've been dormant for decades now.
Y'all had abs before?
When I was a kid, before puberty.
Oh,
so yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't know either. But yeah, so it is definitely very impressive for her to do that. I mean, she gets better and better. It's just great. So yeah,
she has. Izzy has yet to not make me think she doesn't have a gigantic career in this.
Guess who's back?
You know what's worse? You know what's worse about that? I actually meant to text her earlier, the doctor, I mean, to see how she's doing and remind her about the show, and I completely forgot. And yet somehow I think she sensed it through the ether.
Yeah.
And just
100%.
the disturbance in the force, and just I'm okay with dormant. And yeah, she is. She really is.
My question to this, with everything that is going on with Izzy at this point, this is not something you usually see from a rookie within her first year getting opportunities like this.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a good chance that she can defeat JP Harlow at MPW Mania and potentially cash in either that night or at a future show? Because she said in her promo she wants to go for the title. Yeah, Mike, go for it.
No, yeah, I mean, that night, like I said, we were under the impression and got to confirm that it was for his cup.
Mhm.
So we were walking out. I was like, she has the potential to walk out of MPW Mania as the champion. I mean, she could win the cup. We assume that will be earlier. Where you would assume the whatever title match Tiffany may have is a main event.
Mhm.
Potentially gets a big opponent, and whether Tiffany retains or we get a new champ. I mean, it's a perfect Money in the Bank scenario for
Yeah.
cash in.
My thought is
So,
this, though. I mean, we're going to keep an eye on Tiffany Neves' career. We're starting to see her more and more on NWA television.
I think she's signed with them too. Actually,
Yeah, she's
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, if she ends up winning the NWA Women's Championship, that's going to take a lot of her time, and it's going to be really difficult for her to make that time for MPW or any other independent promotion as it is. Is that a potential where we see, I mean, even if Izzy doesn't win the cup and JP Harlow retains it, does he be the one that cashes in later that evening and tries to take
well, let's
the
not go
women's
down the
championship?
God, I
dark
hope not.
line.
I'm sorry. That
I'm
was
just
loud.
saying
That
that
was loud. I
possibility is
apologize.
there. The
Look,
possibility
Doctor
is there.
Strange looked at 14 million, possibilities. Let's not go down that one.
One. Yeah, right. So, I mean, it's something worth keeping an eye on.
Of everything I don't want to happen in my lifetime, that's got to be number one.
It would be a hell of a way for MPW Mania to. MPW is going to be a great show, regardless, whatever happens. I mean, it's going to be
Yeah, I
something
just don't
memorable
want
for
JP
sure.
Harlow to win anything, like in
Right,
general, in life.
JP says a lot of things.
Well,
Let's not forget, Brian, that up until this recent show, due to the combined efforts of Maya World and uh, Black Swan, the once dominant, fearful men's revolution was basically stopped in its tracks, literally thrown into a casket, and now there's only one, as far as we can tell.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
JP
Now,
Harlow is now representing Roman Reigns.
mm,
however, continuing with that promo, there was a little bit more that happened there. So maybe JP does have something up his sleeve because apparently him and Thunder have some sort of understanding. I don't know.
a bit of a history. Not always necessarily understanding, but I don't look at it as if Thunder gave Izzy like turned heel or whatever. She just gave her some tough love. You know, this is wrestling is a messy business at times. Not
True.
everyone is going to be your friend.
That's
I mean,
true, but still.
yeah.
So here's the thing, though. As people who've watched MBW, Mia Friday's come through here. MJ Santana's come through here. I believe Billy Starks was here at earlier MPW,
Earlier in PW, yeah.
right? Black
Yeah.
Swan's come through here. I haven't seen her slap any of them. Maya World is pretty young, right?
Mhm.
None of them got slapped. None of them came. Is she young and potentially naive? Of course. She's 16. Has she stood in the ring with some of the best that indie wrestling has to offer and not only show that she belonged, got a match? 100%. Right? She stood there with Jasmine. She stood there with Maya. She stood there with Tiffany Nieves. She stood there with Kylan King.
That
Right
was
there, if you stand and survive with Kylan King, as far as I'm concerned,
brutal. Man or
good.
woman.
You're in. Right. 100%. Well, Brian,
That's the $1 million question.
That is the $1 million question. I don't know.
I mean, I know a lot of people are saying tough love, but I
Look,
maybe I'm
some people
wrong.
are saying
Something just
tough
doesn't
love.
seem right.
Some people are saying tough love.
Ted saying
Any
something?
one of us who grew up in a Mexican household calls that another Tuesday. Let's just be honest here. So, and usually there's a chancla involved if we really screwed up. So, right?
Yeah, but the difference is Izzy didn't do anything.
Right.
I mean, it's that whole George Lopez thing. Oh, you're the team leader. Oh, whatever.
And-
they always keep you down. Humble you. a
And
bit.
I will say this, Brian, because I see what you say there. Carolina Teague don't play either.
Yeah.
Right? She didn't put up with JP's nonsense. I know she wasn't able to be at the show this past one. Hopefully she'll be there and in April to deal with this. But yeah, I would love to hear too.
Wonder if she'll talk about it on a mission at some point.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
But see, I kind of agree with Ted, guys. I'm sorry. Um, and they even said it on a mission. There was a time. There was a time to do that if you wanted to show tough love, and I don't know if that was it. And I don't know if it was in that way. So
I'm very conflicted. So I'll see. But yeah, I just don't know what the high schooler has done to all these people in order to be assaulted like this. Legacy? Really?
yeah,
Oh,
hey
okay.
there, buddy. We
Right.
got you.
Cool.
Well, we'll see what this all means. Hopefully in the coming weeks, like I said, we're trying to get Thunder Rosa on the show. We're going to make that schedule work out. We'll ask her about this. I would love to get Izzy and Moreno on the show too to discuss this. This is arguably, I feel like every week we say this, the biggest match of her career, a short career and everything like that. So we'd want to get her on here to hopefully talk about it as well too. And then even then, the promos and everything that's going to come out, then how is this story going to lay out for the next 2 months? You know.
And see, I see what you're saying there, Jason. But again, if you get in the ring and you can hang, I think you get to be any person you want outside the ring.
Yeah.
You know, like wrestling has been full of all kinds of different characters at different. Hold on, we may have some breaking news here.
Oh, okay.
Carolina just sent Brian a response. Is this something we're going to hear?
While he's typing what it is.
Yeah, we're waiting while he's typing.
Copy paste. Yeah.
All right.
But where's the shot with TR and JP standing over Izzy on the ground? Oh, Fightful picked that up, by the way.
Did they?
Fightful picked up Thunder slapping Izzy. It made it. That was a Dark Side of the Ring promo.
You know what? Actually, yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
But no, that definitely picked up traction on the internet and on the internet wrestling community. A lot of people retweeted it. Fightful set it up, so it's a huge story. Obviously, this is Thunder's promotion, and she's Thunder Rosa, and Izzy is who she is too, and people have been doubting her since before she started, and she keeps proving them wrong and proving she belongs. So, like you said, JC, a lot of things to play out in these 2 months.
Yeah,
we'll see where this takes us. And Brian kind of mentioned is Thunder on JP's side? I think we all hope no. If she's lulling him into a sense of false security and then like pulls the rug out from under him, I'd love that even more. But let him know. Let's see.
The Thunder seems like the kind of person where you have to earn everything. So I mean, she's not gonna make it easy for Izzy.
No, I get that, but people keep saying that. But what has Izzy done to not do that? Right?
It's like I said, the wrestling business is dark. It's jealousy. A 16-year-old kid is getting these opportunities. Like within a few months of the start of her official wrestling career, she was getting a title match with Tiffany Nieves. Granted, yes,
Okay.
but that's the jealousy piece of it, right?
But who?
Yeah.
Unless Brian, who are the people in charge of Mission Pro? Izzy's not giving herself these matches.
I mean,
so Thunder
threw out the idea.
Jason, but Bayley had a long, successful career as the hugger before she eventually turned. She didn't. She didn't go from the hugger to what she is now in 6 months.
Yeah,
right. She had some time.
Yeah, sure.
I think it says a lot though, because I mean, let's face it. This opportunity for Izzy to be on Mission Pro, this is something Thunder Rosa approached Izzy with on Busted Open Radio. Like, let's do your 100%. First match here. Yeah. So, but this is all part of the learning experience for her. That's the thing. People are going to be jealous of her success. Why did I get this opportunity? Well, yeah, in a way, this is what Izzy's been known for since she was 9 years old. Bayley's biggest fan. She's wrestling. But what she has done right in that response is she started the hot tag. She started her own show to work on her interview skills and be comfortable in front of a mic. She did jiu-jitsu classes and jiu-jitsu training itself to get that cardio up and to understand that aspect of it, and got involved in wrestling. Aha, interesting. So
Yeah,
Brian
check
kind of
out
teasing
Busted
us
Open
Thunder will be
tomorrow,
on
guys.
Busted Open Radio tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh,
For those that don't have Sirius XM, don't worry. You can look for the Busted Open Radio podcast. They'll have their show there, and I think they usually put like hour by hour on their podcast each day. So
yeah.
go check that out as well. I'm definitely going to be checking that out for sure. Uh, yeah, Brian, you said it. It is a cutthroat business. It's not all sunshine and rainbow sometimes like you see with the New Day and all that stuff. During the Monday Night Wars, it was pretty cutthroat. You were fighting for a spot because there was competition. I mean, even if you're on the same roster, you were working hard to be in that main event spot, unless you're in WCW where you really had no shot. But,
Okay, but you
Yeah.
said the New Day's example. Okay, yeah, but see, but even after the Hell in the Cells, the ladder matches and the stuff, they just went right back to doing the dance and the pancakes and the stuff. So again, I ask, what did the high schooler do?
Right.
Exactly.
That's my point.
You're bringing her
you-
into a cutthroat business. That's really what it is. She's
If
learning
you
the hard
could
way.
hang in the ring, so are you saying this is being done out of a good intention?
In a longabout way, yeah. Think about all the stuff if you grew up Mexican families, there's a lot of stuff we didn't understand as kids, but hey, now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And this is kind of a tough motherly love thing that Thunder Rosa is going to put Izzy through, and it's going to make her better because of it.
I feel like
I'm not saying the slap was warranted, but I can see Thunder's side of it. But yeah, Izzy's gonna have. That's the thing. Izzy at her age, with the opportunity she's getting, with all the pressure on her, I mean, it made worldwide headlines just before she debuted her first match. Bailey was making a tweet about it, right? All the eyes are on her. Like, there is so much pressure on this 16-year-old girl every time she steps in the ring. People are waiting for her to fail. And she's a tough girl. Like, there's a reason we sponsor her as much as we can because she deserves that. We believe in her. My daughter believes in her. Daughter changed her pitching warm-up song just because of her. And there's going to be that pressure on her, and it's going to make her better. Honestly, that's really all it's going to be. So, yeah. Look, my parents, I love them to death, but like my dad has told me I was hard on him because I knew how the world was going to be, and yeah, so love my parents. They're still helpful to this day, but yeah, they were restricted times, and yeah, that's just the way it is. So so don't mess with my tias. Yeah, definitely not, because when they come over, I don't have to cook shit because they cook everything. It's great. So yeah, I love my tias.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a lot of them, by the way. So, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I saw Brian's comment.
They signed the permission slip, right? So,
That's a cold-blooded company, Jack.
I'm looking forward to seeing this. I have no doubt he's going to step up to the challenge. That's just all I'm saying. So.
And Jason, you said Roxanne's living there right now. Yeah, Roxanne, already one-time NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah.
Already an ROH Women's Champion.
Mm-hmm.
They're successful, right? Do you have to go through growing pains? Of course. Does it have to come from the people like this? I don't know. I'm still a little bit on the fence about that. Oh, that's awesome, Bernsey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. No, she's cool with everybody, and yeah, she's very
watch party,
very thoughtful, thankful for all her fans and the people that support her, and
Hmm.
JC's kids and all the little kids that are always there to see her.
Look, let's enjoy and watch Izzy's career while we can, because I'll be honest with you, I fully expect when she turns 18, she's gonna get that tryout at NXT, and I think she's gonna make it. And what's going on for the next? I think her birthday's coming up later this year, so next year and a half coming up. Take full advantage of it and watch her grow. Like, this is really gonna get her ready for that down the road. And to be honest with you, when she gets to NXT, she may be a lifer there in WWE for sure. So,
all right,
yeah.
Based off Maddie, let's give some guesses now.
Yeah.
What does her name become? More.
Just Izzy. She's already had that established in WWE. You can be just Izzy, and that's fine. So,
I mean, Maddie Rankowski became Ren Sinclair. I'm just throwing it out there.
Maddie Rankowski wasn't front row at 9 years old and already making headlines in NXT. That's
She was in a show with what did she tell us? Enzo and
Oh, really?
or maybe that was on TV, but that was the one where she fell in love with.
Yeah, but the tweet's coming out calling for Izzy to be front row at WrestleMania when Bayley's going for the title. I did ask Izzy about that, and she's like, "Man, I hope so. We'll see. I mean, she's going to be in Philly anyway with the Hybrid School of Wrestling's table at WrestleCon.
Yep.
It's a good possibility. So yeah, Izzy would love to have you on so we can talk about that and see what we got to do to get there. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, we were excited. You were too.
Yeah, no, we were all that happy. The people getting knocked over was just collateral damage. It's okay.
Yeah,
Good
happens.
stuff.
So, well, how did our picks do on this one? We all went 4-2, guys. Good job, by the way. Consistency,
I know I got the cup wrong. What else did I get? Oh, Kali's match. That's right. That's what I got wrong.
Yeah.
We all picked 0.
We all got 0 on that one. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Kali for anything.
Mike, I should ask you, Kali and Tita's reaction after the show. Did she kind of do the whole "I told you so" thing with you, or what? Yeah.
Look, actually, I got to share another story, but go check out my Instagram picture, CCG Big Mike, because we have a hate relationship.
Sure.
And so I went up and I was like, "A victory, congratulations!" And I went to take a selfie, and I put my thumb up, and I just happened to put my thumb to cover her face.
Yeah.
And in one of the pictures, just behind my thumb, you can see her look at me like, "How dare you, you a-hole."
Yeah.
And then I took my thumb away and we took another picture. But a funny thing was on her Instagram reels or stories, whatever they're called, she posted a picture of her hitting the DDT. And she asked like her followers, what should I name this DDT or my moves in general? So I guess Spicy Deeds is just not the right vibe as we had first heard.
Mm-hmm.
I put, you should call it Blue Moon. Because that's how often you're going to get to use it.
Wow! Clap, 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 clap.
Oh,
wow.
my God.
That is good.
Yeah, so by the way, Tommy, Mike calls Callie my Angel Blue. The way you are with Angel. So
I know, but I think y'all need a couple more years for y'all.
No, fair. You've got like 10 years on us. I get that.
But that's a good one. That's a good one. Calling it Blue Moon.
Look,
I respect that.
Like Tommy said before, I will give people their due. Callie has been very impressive. She was at UWW. She was at the show.
Okay.
Yeah. She's been at Mission Pro twice now. She was at the RCW Rumble. She was at the show in Waco the next day on Sunday. She's been doing good things in a short amount of time. Hasn't been able to pin or tap Izzy. Has several losses to Izzy still.
Yeah.
So we won't ever let her forget that. But, she's been doing well. But I'm never going to say in public that she's doing well or give her compliments in public because
not to her face.
That's just not really our style. So,
yeah.
No.
Funny stuff. All right, well, let's get into our WrestleCast ratings for MPW Sleepless in San Antonio. 0 to 5, 5 year WrestleMania 17, 0% member. I'm going to start and give this a 4.5. I loved it, had a good time. Start to finish was very well done. Sometimes in those 5 ways, you can just kind of get lost in everything going on and hard to keep track of. But that one was just, there was a lot going on, but it was much fun, easy to get into. Crowd was great.
Jason, I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. But it was a good time. I had a blast. The kids had a blast. 4.5 for me. I loved the MPW Mania sign, and I love that the way Harlow was the one pointing at it with that. But I'm just gonna say this: if it was me, I would have just used the laser pointer. That would have been great. Just throwing that out there. So 4.5 for me. Mike, what about you?
Okay. I'm going to go 4.75.
Uh-huh.
I really enjoyed the show. I probably also give it a little bit because of some of the extra stuff we got to do before the show, which was really cool. And every match was solid. Like we didn't even really talk as much about Emmy Camacho, who came back and had a really good match with Raylan. Who
Kaya
Raylan
Dream
was really
debuting.
impressive. What's that?
Kaya Dream debuting.
Yeah, Kaya
Yeah.
Dream I guess we never actually said. We talked about
We forgot to mention who the partners were.
actual champions, the actual people who won the match.
Yeah.
Maya World and Kaya Dream,
Yeah.
who are now Dream World.
Yes.
And
Great.
only the third Mission Pro Tag Champions ever.
Yep.
Hopefully they have a nice little reign like the other two have had, because they're an impressive team. And Kaya's really good. Maya is, as we say all the time now, one of the top young stars coming through Texas and stuff. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. The 5-way was really good. Izzy's match was really good. And the Tiffany match was really good. Like Tommy said, like we thought Rashay had it a few times, and
Yeah.
probably should have if not for ref bump and shenanigans. But you know,
So yours is what again, Mike? Sorry,
4.75.
4.75. Okay,
Now, if y'all will give me a quick second,
sure.
Uh-oh.
where does this hatred come from?
Here we go.
I will tell you, and I don't want to sound like a child, but she started it. Okay. So, if y'all remember the timeline, Izzy has her debut match in August for Mission Pro, right? Has a match against Jasmine. The next month in September, she comes back, and that's when Callie has her debut match, right? And it's Callie and Izzy.
Hybrid. Yeah.
And that's a hybrid, and that's Callie's first match. So, have the match. Izzy wins. Really cool. We're excited. But, I was like, hey, Callie's first match. We remember seeing her ref as Zendi for a long time. They did a little vignette. I forget exactly what happened, but Izzy and her run into each other at the door at Hybrid, and it kind of pisses Zendi off. I think because she just called her like a ref or whatever, and so that's what set up the match. Well, by that time, I had ordered my Izzy shirt, the one I'm wearing, and I wore it to that first match at Hybrid. So after the show, unlike Tommy, who keeps this hatred going 24/7, I was going to be nice and go up to her and be like, hey, good job, cool first match. As I'm walking up, she looks at me and goes, get that Izzy shirt away from me. Don't come over here. And I was like, all right, I was going to come say nice things, but that's cool. Ever since then, that's been our relationship.
On site. Okay.
On site, as
On
Tommy would
site.
say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what happened. It was her fault. She started it.
Burnsy gives it a 4.9. Ted says Tommy commentated, so 5. Tommy, what is your rating for Sleepless in San Antonio?
I'm biased. I have to give it a 5.
Okay. If you want to get a commentating job again with them,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It had several things. Like that's part of it. All the matches were just really solid. Plus, Dolce Tormenta being there was
That was
another
pretty cool too.
another really cool thing. I mean, didn't care for a tag partner much, but then again, when do I ever? And Kaya Dream, who I've been a fan of for a long time, has never seen wrestle live, showing up randomly, kind of making my year. It's February, and Black History Month. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh no,
Black History Month. Black History Month. If only Rashay had won too, then it'd been a perfect Black History Month.
Hey.
Like, yeah.
This once every 4 years, you get an extra day for this month. So
Yeah, we were this close.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
I just saw Jason's comment.
Hang on.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But yeah, 5 for me.
All right. Well, overall rating for MPW Sleepless in San Antonio, 4.75, guys.
Nice.
So,
Not too bad.
not too bad. Great show. All right. Well, with that, it's time to move into our 1-minute warning segment. Mike, do you have something this week?
Do I?
Do you?
I think I'm going to pass for this week.
Okay.
All right. What about you, Tommy?
Yeah, I got something. It's not huge, but I got something.
All right. If you're ready, go for it.
Okay. So recently, I think it was on Busted Open, Bully Ray talked about how Seth Rollins still does his entrance and everything and all that kind of good stuff. And he said something that I kind of do and don't agree with. But I see his point. Let me make this clear. I see his point. He's talking about like how he doesn't know why Seth still does the dancing and the laughing thing when, it's kind of serious with WrestleMania. And I get all that. I get what he's saying. But I do think it's different for different people. Like, during I think especially like during the height of Shawn Michaels DX stuff, I don't think he ever stopped, doing the cross chops and flip up the crowd and everything like that, being silly. So I don't think it's a big deal that Seth keeps going during his entrances and stuff. So no disrespect to Bully Ray, I get what he's saying, but I also don't think that should be everyone's immediate transition to hyper focused, hyper serious if they haven't been that the entire time. Because even Kofi, during the Kofi Mania thing, he kind of had that seriousness going, but you could still see the New Day kind of like have him loosen up to get ready. But I heard that and people were kind of jumping on like,
Is that where that came from?
yeah, I think so. At least I saw what Bully Ray said it first. That's what I
Okay.
understood. So I'm like, yeah, I see what you mean, but no. That's kind of where I was at with the whole thing. I was like, yes, but no. So again, this is my opinion. Some dude on the internet.
All right. Mine is going to be one of the ready to feel old commentary kind of thing, guys. You ready for this?
Uh-oh.
Sure,
Look, there's not a whole lot of things in wrestling anymore where we're going to mention somebody by the name of Brock Lesnar. Yes, may not appear on TV anymore, entrance or otherwise. But there is something worth discussing, and it does relate to Brock Lesnar. Guys, it has been 20 years ago today that Eddie Guerrero beat Brock Lesnar at No Way Out to win the WWE Championship.
No way.
Yes. No Way Out 2004, February 15th,
I saw that
2004. It's been 20 years since Eddie Guerrero won the title, which quite frankly, Mike, I remember watching that. I think we were at Fatso's watching that
I
one.
think so.
And I didn't think he was going to beat him. I was just a complete shock.
I know I didn't have
I don't think anybody did because Lesnar looked unstoppable. But for that match to play out the way it did, for Eddie to win, the crowd, to this day, it is one of my favorite moments in wrestling ever. For a guy to win a title that definitely deserved it. And it's something that I'm never going to forget. It's for everything that people have known about Eddie Guerrero's career, his personal demons, coming over from WCW, everything he went through. That moment is going to be the highlight of me as a wrestling fan, watching that, seeing the reaction of Fatso's. Never going to forget it. And yeah, feeling old. That was 20 years ago today, guys. So,
Dang.
yeah. Oh, it's just some guy that Eddie Guerrero beat 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's all. No.
Yeah.
Real quick, one little thing, not a 1 minute warning, but Brian had mentioned earlier he was waiting to see what the general manager Carolina Teague had to say.
Yes.
So apparently, she's on her own show right now, which is a League of Her Own.
Right.
So when we get off of this, go check out her YouTube, A League of Her Own. She's talking about what happened in MPW, and she's going to address her thoughts on Thunder and Izzy and the slap heard around the world. So go check out and let's see what she says.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason, I thought everybody did too as well, but you know how it turned out. So it is what it is. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, considering that the cluster that match became afterwards.
yeah.
It only took them 15 years to redeem themselves for that.
That definitely did.
17
Yep.
years.
It was a while.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us on this week's episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast.
Did you see Jason's comment?
What? By the way, no one would hurt. No.
No. She's actually someone to be afraid of, Jason.
Yeah.
And apparently Tiffany Nieves is my wife's favorite because Tiffany Nieves told me so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next week we are going to preview TNA No Surrender and WWE Elimination Chamber, and probably going to talk about the hybrid experience and what's on tap for RCW because it is a very, very busy weekend of wrestling. No Surrender Friday, Elimination Chamber Saturday morning for us, hybrid experience Saturday evening, and then RCW on Sunday.
And it's RCW turns 22.
Yes, the 22nd birthday of River City Wrestling.
Because if you want to feel old, that they're as old as Ring of Honor and TNA.
All right. Let's see here.
Oh yeah. I hooked up Burnsley with his ticket so he could for Mania, and he'll pay me back when he gets there. But yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on this week's episode. Over here, we got Tommy. We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People
are
fake.
fake. Ooh.
Nation of Domination.
Adios, Punter. Yes! Yes!
He
Yes!
got defeated with the Photoshop.
Yes!